You know, here we are in Dubai, which looks really extraordinary with all the skyscrapers around. What is really funny to think about this place that only some decades back in the 1970s, this was not much more than a little town with no skyscrapers, just very old traditional Arabic buildings. So what has happened is a complete metamorphosis. To which extent this represents something of a model that other cities, other countries can look as a formula for success. Let's discuss about it. To understand how we can even think that Dubai can be a model for anybody to follow, we need to kind of carve out some of the facts about the Dubai's past. So not only this was a small town in 1970s, it was also under the British protectorate at the time. Well, they got their independence in 1971 for the whole UAE, forming these 7 emirates together, what is called the United Arab Emirates. And after that, start this very fast development. And there was a lot of visionary ideas about how to build in this sand, which is there, in this desert, to something totally exceptional, what has been never seen, not in the Arab region, not in the Middle East, not in the whole world. And I guess it all was not kind of 100% planned, but there was a lot of ambition to make this exceptional. And the leaders of Dubai in those days were looking at the type of the connections that they could be kind of a build around the larger region, including some of the countries in Eurasia and some of the countries in Asia, and connect these countries in a different ways. The second idea was that came actually in the early 80s, that wow, people in so many parts of the world are looking for the sun. They might have very advanced high societies, but they have a lot of clouds, a lot of rain, and a lot of misty days, so to say. Dubai provides, for most of the days, just pure sunshine. The idea was that why don't we build a kind of an infra for people to come over here and enjoy those amenities that they seldom have at home. And this is how the idea of the Dubai as a tourist hub actually emerged. And today we know that this is one of the key destinations in the world. The trading aspect was really important because the trade is what the Arab culture has done over the millennia. That's where Arabic cultures and people are very good at. With this idea of the strength that the Arabic culture has, was built the idea how to build this modern system of trade, modern system of business hub here into Dubai. And they were also very successful in that, because Dubai many decades ago decided that they will be very open to other cultures, meaning that they are inviting other people, other businesses to come here over Dubai and build their lives and their fortunes here. And this is actually what happened, to the extent that the port that is here in Dubai, Jebel Ali port, is one of the biggest in the world, but also that this business hub here is almost like unlike anywhere else in the world. All these assets that were created with these ambitions have been used here to build this city, which is a kind of a strange bubble, while at the same time it's very real. In a sense, it provides a kind of an oasis for peaceful interaction between the different cultures, between different businesses. And that is, of course, quite extraordinary, particularly if you think about this area with a lot of conflicts, internal, external, that has kind of make their mark over the decades in this region. Dubai and UAE has stepped out of that and instead built this kind of a peaceful culture over here. Of course there are issues here. There are human rights issues here. There are other issues that are not, this is not a perfect place at all. But this is a very unique place. And the uniqueness partly comes from these huge ambitions on which this whole country has been built. But also the idea of bringing in multiple cultures, which is not so different if you think about the success stories of Silicon Valley, for instance, which has also been based on the fact that a lot of Asians particularly came to Silicon Valley, found their way to build their lives and their companies and their fortunes there. And in the same way here too, people have found the way how they can build their lives, and in many other cases, they are the ones that are sending back home money that they are earning here in Dubai. Now, the whole Dubai is actually a bit like an eccentric mixture of the kind of a international business, local strong old traditions, including Islam, of course, a very powerful part of the culture. But what I suggest is that the model that we see here emerging out of this kind of ambition that has been built here, and with those objectives of building this multicultural community where everybody who really wants can to have a one-way the access to that. It's rather interesting, particularly if you think about the many other countries which are struggling with internal conflicts, with problems related one portion of the population kind of disagreeing with the others, issues like security being lost, a lot of crimes, all that. And Dubai has been able to avoid many of those things, so maybe there is a way that the other countries, particularly those ones that are kind of on the developing phase, may find some inspiration how they have been able to build this type of system, this type of society. And there is one more important aspect to this, which is that there is a really serious effort here in Dubai to build a kind of a governance system which is transparent, which is fast, which actually serves the people that is supposed to be serving. Because we have so many examples of other countries where the governance system becomes a bureaucracy, a kind of a jungle where you have to bribe this and that person in order to get something. And that's why the corruption is so rampant in so many countries in the world. Here in Dubai, it's not exactly working that way. There is a certain kind of a clarity and transparency, and even there is a lot of speed when it comes to how this governance system works, which is incredibly important for the businesses as it is important for the people. So Dubai can certainly give a lot of inspiration. Now, then there are some other aspects of Dubai that maybe are not so inspiring. One is the fact that this is highly polluted city, that the whole infrastructure is built on the private cars, and there is very little anything else, even if there is a wonderful metro that has been built quite recently here. But there is a lot of things, particularly when we think about the challenges of sustainability, where we are thinking about CO footprints, so carbon footprints, which here per capita is the highest in the whole world. So obviously we cannot say that this is a model to anybody, because they need to reduce drastically the carbon emissions here to build a more sustainability. And of course, if you look around and you see what do they have an eternal sun here. So with the use of the sun, obviously a huge amount more can be done in reducing this imprint, this physical imprint that is highly negative when it comes to the sustainability. So there is certainly a lot to learn, and also the openness of the society certainly needs much more than it is today. But all in all, I see Dubai as a country and as a place that can inspire many others, and even in some specific cases can serve as a model. How not to be so dependent on your history, even if that history has been conflictual, a lot of conflicts, even worse. So you can actually step out of that type of a path and build a culture of tolerance, build a culture of peace, build a place, a city where you don't have to fear if you walk in the evening or in the nighttime. And this is all that Dubai has achieved, which is quite incredible. So with these ideas, I would say that yes, to some extent, and in certain ways, Dubai can also serve as a model for future. Check my channel and other related videos and give your comments. What do you think about the future of Dubai and where the Dubai can improve? I want to hear from you.